1, 2, 3. Hello, and welcome back to our another episode of Two Dudes Drinking Beer. Today we're not drinking beer, but we have seltzers.
Figured we just rip the Band-Aid off.
It's all the same.
We know people aren't gonna want us to be saying we're two dudes drinking beer when we act like bitches and drink White Claw. But we felt it matched his outfit.
There's nothing wrong with what I'm wearing today because it's my first day of summer. My spring classes are done. As of today, I took my last finals, so
Well,
I'm ready.
Cheers, man, to the end of finals and the semester
Rona,
and the
come
start
at
of
me.
summer. And here's to being locked down until August.
I don't care about the quarantine. My life still stays the same.
Yeah. But it's just LA, I think, so fuck them. They were pretty irresponsible.
A lot of people were responsible.
Yeah.
It's,
But
how you ruin the world.
it's pretty easy if you just look at how everyone is handling it right now.
Yeah, very poorly.
Poorly.
But I like going to a store and getting the worst dirty looks possible because I'm not wearing a face mask.
People do, in fact, hate on us.
I refuse to wear a mask. But I have to wear one for work. Otherwise, I don't work anymore.
I've seen a few people say that they're not even effective. And above all, they should be saved for hospital attendants and people who are in the medical field. So
It depends
it's
on
kind of like a lose-lose if you wore a mask.
it depends on the quality of mask.
Sure. No, I mean, but the better the quality, obviously, should be in the hands of people who are in the hospitals interfacing with the disease.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
You decided to do that profession. You know the risks. If you die, it's your fault. Don't blame your equipment. Blame you.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I think it's funny though. Have you seen those videos of like the nurses
Dancing and shit.
Yeah. It's like they're posting videos of like stay home, so we go to work so you don't have to. And it's like, bitch, nobody chose this. Nobody wanted to stay home. And then they're like posting the videos of them dancing and stuff, and it's like we hate the job, and like the virus is making it so crazy. And it's like, I get it, a heavy workload. Like when I worked at McDonald's, I hated the hours of lunchtime because it got busier. But
Especially on like the Saturday from like 10:45 to 11.
McFlurries,
Everyone coming out of like their
McFlurries.
fucking soccer games and shit. It's like, do you still have breakfast? And it's like, breakfast ended at 11.
back in the day,
Well, yeah, back in the day when it was still exclusive.
you fuckers don't know how good you have it.
And it was extended for extra 30 minutes on the weekends. And they still came in
Those are
at
the
like
days.
11:15. It's like, do you have any breakfast left? It's like, no. I have a sausage biscuit that's been sitting here for 30
Yeah, I
minutes.
think that was all we had. It was like any leftover biscuits because they didn't want to just throw them away. So we'd keep the biscuits and the sausage, and it'd sit out for like 3 hours, and people would be like, "Give it to me, I'll take it."
People are the worst.
The worst. But I'm not sure what my point was, but seeing people working and not being out of work, complaining about working when there's so many people out of work, and then blaming people for going out because they're on the front lines and making their job harder. It just seems so,
It's also not like
I don't want to say hypocritical, but there's a word for it. It's just like, why would you fucking take that stance?
it's not like I'm also leaving the house just to do whatever the fuck I
Yeah,
want.
it's like we fucking need groceries.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I don't have to live my life. My life is very limited in the first place. But like, I'm still going to go do things that I would normally do, whether I'm going to see a friend or I usually just sit at home. So I follow the rules as they are right now, but I'd rather not.
I'll talk about this too. My sister Ashley posted a
Hi, Ashley. You were
Hi.
our first subscriber. I know.
hey Ashley.
I know these
Thanks for
statistics.
thanks for subscribing. She posted a long I think it was like a Facebook post or something. She's like, maybe it's just the quarantine getting to me and I'm going crazy, but like, doesn't it piss you guys off seeing people go out? And like, it was funny too because it was a day after we kicked it. I think we had like a bonfire or something at Ryan's, and I was like, man, like I didn't think it was about me personally, but I was definitely involved in that group she was talking to, and I was just thinking to myself like, our group's pretty small anyway. Like we don't
Yes.
really go out and
It's 4 people.
we don't go to LA, and we're like within the guidelines of like no crowds, no groups bigger than 8 to 10 or
And
whatever.
We're always at someone's house. So there's no risk of affecting other people.
It's going from one house to the other house, and it's really gonna be
It's contained.
it's really gonna be if Josh contracts it from work, I'll get it and bring it to my house.
Which realistically, I have the highest chance of getting it.
Definitely does. And then you hear about all the asymptomatic cases, and it's like, well, that's the real threat, is that you might give it to someone who doesn't have it, and realistically you have the same risk of just going to Target to pick up White Claws or food or whatever it is on the day-to-day, because there's really nothing open. Everything open that is open is considered essential. So if you're out somewhere, you shouldn't be shamed and I'm not trying to like bash my shit sister, but I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't be bashing people just living their life.
Oh, I'm going to bash people. I'm not bashing your sister either, but I'm bashing. Okay, so in my Target, I work at Target. We had everything that wasn't essential roped off. You couldn't buy it unless you placed an order to pick it up online. So we had that for a month and a half. It just got lifted last Friday. And before that, everyone would come in. So it was like, clothing's not essential. And like, home decor is not essential. I'm like, yes, you do not need brand new clothes to live.
Or home decor, which we picked up yesterday.
You already have the shit in your closet. You don't need new stuff. And people are so fucking entitled that
That's a good word.
they think that because I can't have this new thing that you're stomping on like my rights.
My freedoms.
And that's
as
why
an American.
that's why people are protesting too, and that's fucking stupid. Just people can't stay home. People can't do what they're told. Adults or children.
Yeah, and I guess just to, clean up the edges, I heard about that. It's like, I'm not saying people like that should be excused. I guess I see the frustration on that side, because if I saw that, I'd be like, you fucking idiot. Like, I can't even stand how people are driving super fast and super slow right now. There's no in between. It's like, I'm either stuck behind someone going 30 in a 45, or someone's doing 85 on the freeway right past me. And it's like just insane. And I get that. It's a little uneasy because kind of like the social norms are abolished right now. And we all have to kind of regroup and refocus on what's going on. But I'm not saying people who are out buying groceries should be like told, hey, go back home. But the people who are like, hey, I want this fucking new article of clothing.
No.
Like,
go fuck yourself.
Like, obviously that's not essential.
Who cares?
If you're staying home, especially, wrap yourself up in a blanket after you take a shower and just kind of sit for a little bit. You'll be fine.
I helped one kid who needed, apparently really badly, he needed new underwear and socks, and he was like, they're so essential. And I was just thinking to myself, helping this kid, like, how fucking bad did you let it get to the point where you absolutely needed a pack of new underwear?
Translation, how many pairs of underwear did you shit yourself in before?
I have over 20 pairs of underwear.
That's a lot. He's an underwear model, though, so it doesn't really matter.
I am just responsible. I'm a responsible adult. I would never let myself get in a situation where, like, oh, shit, I haven't done laundry in a month. I only have one pair of underwear left.
That is pretty crazy, right? To go through that amount.
It was a 6-pack, too. It was like, you only have 6 pairs of underwear? That's fucking disgusting. How many pairs of underwear do you have? I'm going to put you on blast. How many pairs of underwear do you have?
I have a lot now.
Perfect.
Because ever since you got the job at Target, I've been over.
You're welcome.
Like a bunch. And I'm like, hey, man, what's some really good underwear for my crotch? And he's like, these won't sweat or ride up. And they're more, and here's the thing. Here's what I've really learned in the last 2 years. If you spend the money, you will get a better product.
100%.
And I'll explain why. Because they put more money into creating the product because they're using better material.
Yes.
And it will last longer. And the idea... Did I miss something?
Finish your thought. I got something.
And the idea of spending more money, like what I recently started doing, I tell everyone this, is I buy really expensive laundry detergent because I like a certain brand of laundry detergent, and even though it's more expensive, I buy it.
Gain.
I buy Gain because I think it smells really good, and my clothes still smell fresh right now. And I have this shirt is from the closet from 2 weeks after doing laundry, and it still smells good.
This still smells like the airport.
But my point being is I learned to spend that money. It gives you a higher quantity, a better quality, and it's like maybe $5 to $10 more than the brand I was using. And the brand I was using, honestly, it just made me feel poor. I used a lot of discount Dollar Tree kind of like bargain brands because I was trying to save money. And what I really did was I ended up making myself depressed because I walked around after a day and my clothes wouldn't smell clean. They wouldn't smell like soap. They would just smell like the fabric or whatever. And it wouldn't protect the clothing, so the clothing would go bad and it wouldn't be soft anymore really quick. And it just created this like negative loop in my head to where it's like, look, the one thing I care about personally is like smells. So you better believe I'm buying like more expensive shampoo, laundry detergent, and hand soap. Like those are the three things I really buy for myself because without that, I just feel, and I'm not like a rich person. I would feel like a bad person who isn't good enough because I'm not buying that extra, few dollars. Like I'm telling myself I'm not worth it, and there's like a whole psychology behind it. I felt, but I'm past that now. Go ahead, you had something.
Okay, thank you, sir, for going on a nice.
I rant, motherfucker. Nice Deal with it. You let me. You gave me the green light. Go ahead.
I did, and I regret it.
I gave you the wheel. You're wasting it. Go now.
So this, I'm gonna pose a question directly towards one of our listeners. His name is Ryan. Ryan, I have a question for you. So we were looking at TVs on BestBuy.com one day.
You're throwing shade.
No. It's a genuine question.
The one that Drake bought, 21?
No, that was the $50,000 98-inch TV.
And I agree. Spend a little bit more money, buy a better TV.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about there was a TCL and a Samsung, both 65 inches, both 4K. One was like $900 and the other was $2,000.
Same specs except...
Same specs, except for the TCL weighed like
40 pounds.
40 more pounds than the Samsung.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know why one cost. It was $19.99.99, and the other was like $9.99.99.
$9.99.
Yes, one was $1,900 and the other was $999. So I just want to know why the TCL is $1,000 more for the exact same thing. They're both smart TVs. Granted, the TCL has the Roku built inside of it, like they usually do. But I just want to know why the TCL was $1,000 more than the Samsung, when arguably, depending on who you talk to, the Samsung is the better overall TV.
Arguably.
Depending
on who you talk to.
My
thought process behind this...
more money, better materials.
So I buy a lot of audio equipment. I do audio. And I've got a cheap Behringer mixer running the audio right now. It's disgusting. It's nothing special. But it does get the job done, right? So I kind of tried to say you could look at it as this is the $100 model versus the $1,000 model. You can buy a mixer with essentially the same preamp, same hardware, but the body's plastic.
Now, Professor Grimes, if you're listening, because I know you like the page, please send me a list of cheap equipment that is real good.
For audio?
Just in general.
Okay. But anyway, I was saying we have this equipment, but we also could have better equipment that feels more rugged, and if it had a full metal body, it would be a better, more sturdy build. Whereas this is all plastic, and sometimes the circuitry can.
Swaketry.
So, I'm not even aware of it anymore. Sometimes the circuitry goes bad because it's all just super easy to get dirty, and you gotta put in the work to maintain it to make it last. Whereas if you bought something with better like metal build, sturdier,
It's just a higher quality
just
product.
a higher quality product, and it seemed the whole weight issue for the TV to me was they just probably used all metal framing, this and that. And it would probably be a stronger, more sturdy TV. But in the aspect of a TV, you don't necessarily need a strong, sturdy TV if it's mounted or hanging on something, because it shouldn't be dropped in the first place.
If anything, it'd be harder to mount because it's heavier.
Yeah, it would just be heavier.
I feel like all the weight is in the stand. 20 pounds of it was
It was all stand, and it was like the metal frame of it. It had to be. But what denotes it being a better TV? Is it because it just feels better? It appeals better? Because I won't lie to you. I'll buy mixers that have full body everything, and I'm like, ooh, this is a nice mixer. This is a great, piece of audio hardware. But realistically, there's cheaper components that if you really do the research and have worked with enough, you'll realize sometimes the newer isn't a step up. It's actually a step back.
Yes, I agree. I was talking to one of my buddies at work.
Fuck, I talk a lot.
Or it might have been you. I was talking to someone about... It was you.
What's up?
About how that... There was some audio something that the new version...
Oh, the Scarlett 2i2 second gen versus
something.
third gen?
Yeah, the second gen was better and they made the third gen worse.
The second gen was better in every regard, and the third gen was a step down for sure, and they charged more money for it. So it was like they really just maximized the profit on the third gen. They made a really good product. They made an okay product for the first gen. The second one was a definite improvement, and then the third one was a definite step down, almost seemingly intentional.
So do your research when you're going to buy things. Don't just look at price. Price should play the biggest factor, given your budget.
I will say this too. Even though it was a step down, it was still better than most models. In a ranking of 1 to 10, it was put against 10 other models. It was the most mid-priced, and it ranked third of best performance. So even though it was a step down from because the second generation essentially came in first, and then the third generation came in third place.
So if you can get something
Out of
better
10.
for cheaper, you might as well go for the better cheap version.
Yeah, you might as well.
So, I mean, price does play the biggest factor ultimately when you're buying something on a budget, but you should still also do research comparing
But you could save up.
however much more.
You could save up however like my whole theory with the laundry detergent is like, I'd rather just spend the extra $10. I'd rather just buy the biggie pack and not have to go back to the store every week. Because I was buying...
Buy a single shot glass worth of detergent.
Well, I was buying... So basically...
You bought the testers.
I bought the test sizes. So I'd go to 7-Eleven.
You wanted to test all the scents to make sure
I wanted to find which one
smelled
smelled the best.
Understandable. I agree with that.
That's how you... Sure. That's how I do. I tested all the laundry detergents. Tide came in last. It was garbage.
Tide's the best.
Tide's the worst.
Actually, I don't even use Tide.
Oh,
We
then
use-
fucking
We
that's
use Costco. Broke ass can't even get into Costco.
Costco's great. Costco's a great.
Kirkland signature.
Kirkland's a great brand. I also love the Kirkland shampoo bottles, the purple ones. Those did wonders for my hair. So shouts out Kirkland. But I'm just saying, I went to 7-Eleven. I got the little travel size bottles. I used those for 2 or 3 washes, and I saw how it worked, and I chose the product I liked the best. That's it.
Costco's got it figured out.
Costco does.
Even trying to understand like the business aspect of procuring these items that are such high quality. They say everything's cheaper when you buy in bulk, but to like a certain extent, it's still super expensive. You still have to spend a lot of money to buy all of these items.
It's like
and you can't. They don't mark it up that much. So like their margins aren't that crazy. Their margins that are crazier is a food court though. Their food court brings in over $1 billion annually with a B, as in the second letter of the alphabet. That's fucking insane. On $2 slices of pizza?
Oh, I'm starting without you.
I'm already on number 2, man. 2 dudes drinking beer.
2 dudes drinking beer.
$1 billion on $2 slices of pizza and $2 hot dogs. That's fucking insane.
That's a lot of hot dogs.
That's a shit ton of hot dogs. And now that they've condensed their menu and they got rid of everything that people still bought but didn't fucking use, like they got rid of their brisket sandwich. I never know. I know one person who ate it. I don't talk to him anymore.
He doesn't talk to me anymore.
It wasn't you. It was someone else. I know one person who ate that fucking sandwich. They probably still have the chicken bakes. I haven't been.
Those are fucking good.
I haven't been to Costco in forever. You can buy them frozen. You can buy everything they sell frozen. They just reuse all their shit, and it's fucking smart. Costco knows what's up. I know they make a shit ton of money each year. I don't see it as a good business venture though. Like your margins are super tight, I would think. I don't know. I don't work there.
I love how blown away you are.
Like,
but they're super tight. I don't know. I would think.
I would assume because so you can go on DH Gateway where we buy our fake shoes, and you buy them in bulk.
Put us on blast.
I'll expose ourselves. We buy Yeezys for $50 online. Clean your shoes, man.
These were $60. You broke bitch. You only spending $50 on spoons, on shoes,
and yours fall apart. Mine don't.
Well, I wear mine every day. You switch between a bunch of different Yeezys.
I still wear my very first pairs I bought.
Damn, mine are torn up to shit.
Yeah, they are.
But they lasted 2 years. So whoever's running the fake Yeezy plant in China, shouts out to you. Cause
the same people who make the actual pairs. It's all the same materials.
Y'all make a hell of a fake shoe. And
it might as well be a real shoe.
And they seem real. They seem real as fuck to me. So you keep doing you. Shouts out to China, y'all.
They'll do anything to make a living. It's just like everyone in Venezuela who plays RuneScape to make money.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. So, are you familiar with RuneScape?
Of course I am.
It's the MMORPG.
It's the OG.
Game. Yeah, it's like
the OG.
It was RuneScape and World of Warcraft back in the day. And if you didn't play one, you definitely played the other. And if you didn't play any, you weren't online. That's just how it goes. So nowadays, there's two RuneScapes. There's the original RuneScape 3 that's still going. It's the first one. And then people didn't like it. So they made, it's called, I forgot, it's called Old School RuneScape. So it's essentially they backed up an old server from 2007 and just made that a game. So everything that everyone loved about...
Is it just on one server?
No, it's multiple servers, but they had like old data still backed up on their server from the old game, and they just made that its own standalone thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's still hosted on multiple servers, but it's like it's the old game.
Yeah, it's like a carbon copy of...
Yeah, it's the same
what
shit.
It used to be.
Just back in the day.
Gotcha.
So Venezuelans, their form of currency isn't worth fucking anything because that country just needs some work. And so they play RuneScape because I think it's 1 million RuneScape, it's called GP, gold, is worth like 68 cents.
What?
USD?
For real?
Yeah.
That's crazy. How many video game currencies do you think are more than actual country currencies?
A lot.
I mean, even I looked at the numbers of China, like one of our dollars is like 80 of their dollars. Mm-hmm. That's insane. So
The only country that has better currency than us is
UK.
Yeah, it's the pound.
Yep.
It's
Shouts
worth,
out to the UK.
It's worth more than $1.
We still sank your ships though. Fuck
So
the tea up.
so these Venezuelan gold farmers, it's super easy to get gold in RuneScape at like a high level. You can kill monsters that give you like 300,000 gold an hour. Ran on multiple accounts.
Fucking really?
You don't even have to be
And then do
playing
they
it.
sell the account or do they just
sell the gold.
it just goes to like a different
They
user?
sell the gold online. It's real world traded it through the real world, which is against game rules. You're not allowed to real world trade.
Yeah, but fuck that. That's genius.
So they make
Shouts
like
out to Venezuelans, bro, figuring it out. Hustle hard.
they can make like $200 like a day, but to them that's a shit ton of money.
$200 a day to me is a shit ton of money. I don't make that kind of money.
Well, in their
Let's
currency,
move to Venezuela.
for their currency,
Oh, so it's like
that's like
they make like
$15.
they make like $15, and to them it's like
To them, it's a
groceries.
shit ton of money. For us, it's nothing. But like, the fact that they play a game on like 15 accounts at the same time, for like just to survive, and then get
Insane.
banned, and then just make fake emails and do it all over again.
it's funny too because I was just watching this thing on YouTube about this guy who exposes scammers, and he basically hacked into their system.
Kit Boga?
No, he's the Twitch streamer, right?
Yeah, Kit Boga.
He's really funny, but he shouts out this guy.
Oh, okay.
So he's definitely not that guy. But, and I wish I might look up his name because I feel bad for shouting him out and not plugging him.
You
But
could always include it after.
okay. But basically he hacks into this people. So India is huge on telemarketing scams.
Yes, because that's fucking when you call Microsoft, you get an Indian dude, so they capitalize.
Ring-a-ding-a-dinging.
They capitalize on the stereotypes.
Which is smart.
Very smart.
India, keep doing what you're doing.
Very smart.
Everyone keep doing what you're doing.
Very smart for the phishing aspect.
But basically, it's just this huge issue because it targets elder people and people who
don't know better.
don't know better, and it's kind of the same principle of economically it makes perfect sense, but it's super illegal in the eyes of like American law, and the Indian, I guess, police force don't enforce it too much. So it's a rampant running scheme to where they make like $4 million. I don't know if it was like a month or a year,
It's still a shit.
but
ton of money
they make a shit ton of money in American dollars, and it's all just basically stolen.
compared to their ruble. No, that's
Do they?
Russia.
That's Russia. But ruble, is it ruble with a P or with a B? Ruble or ruble?
Ruble. I know
Ruble?
rupee is Legend of Zelda.
So that's not what we're looking for.
Not at all. It's opposite.
So-
that's the opposite end. Oh God.
So the camera went
We're in the
out.
void.
The webcam's not working, so just bear with us.
Jones.
Freaking frogs are gay. That was an honest attempt at Alex Jones, but basically it's the whole idea of just fraud, like how China will steal copyright stuff from America, and there's no real law enforcement over there to say, hey, fuck you guys. It's kind of happening all over the world where it's like China's stealing our copyright shit for software and apps. India's exploiting our elderly people for Microsoft service workers. And they charge them a shit ton of money too, a one-time fee of like $1,400. And essentially all they have to do is close the tab. It's so sad.
It's because
They're not gonna hear you.
Know any better.
He says it's because they're old and they don't know any better.
Okay, man.
Say it again.
It's because they're old and they don't know any better. A little bit. You'll hear me in the background.
All right. Anyway, so it's like everyone's just kind of trying to siphon. I'm the thing, bro. Everyone's trying to siphon off of the United States because, our currency's
The best.
not the best, but
America #1.
yeah. our currency's more than theirs, and a sucker's born every minute over here, so
Fuck yeah, they are.
every goddamn minute. You should just put a picture of the logo. Oh, shouts out to the
I
logos.
will. Yeah, who made that? Shout them out. I don't know her name.
Her name is Jerica Vina. We did a song together called Camarillo. Jerica, if you're watching this,
Thank you so much for making better art than we ever could.
those were so fucking dope. And the one where it like kind of does the
GIF.
the
Well, I
GIF.
turned it into a GIF, but it's a video. Yeah.
But yeah, the video of like it's just so fucking cool. Thank you so much. It's like
It's never changing. It's gonna be it forever.
probably it's
too good.
It's just well, she does like work for Microsoft, so like she knows exactly the resolutions and frame rates, and she does videos and shit for them all the time. So it's like it's probably just primed to be exactly what it is set to. You have it set as the logo, right?
It's everything's profile picture.
Yeah. So I mean, just fucking shout out to you for making such a high quality photo that we don't ever have to touch again.
Thank you.
Namaste.
And if you ever want to be on the show, just let us know. Let him know. You have his contact.
Yeah, we're taking guests. Ryan said he wanted to be on the show. We'll get Jerica on here if she wants to.
I've seen the third microphone.
I have microphones. We would
I
just
do
need
too.
we would just need the mixer.
We got the shit. We just
we
need
we
the
have
channels.
we have the shit. We have the channels too. We would just need the software.
Perfect.
I mean, it's just, it's just a matter of figuring it out.
We will figure it out.
You let us know, and
We'll make it work.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, Michael, if you pull up with that list,
Michael, pull up.
Mr. Grimes.
Pull
That's not even your real name.
Grimes.
Professor Michael Wilkins from the UK.
His name is Grimes from the UK.
I know what that sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like some boom boom boom. And
No, he's not Big Shaq.
no, but like it's called grime.
I know.
UK grime rap.
Yes,
scene.
and it's terrible. It's really bad. UK rappers.
I like some of them. I'm a huge fan of liquid drum and bass though. Like drum and bass, I definitely went through a phase.
Okay, cool, but like UK rappers are some of the worst. I don't even fucking listen to hip hop, but UK rappers are the worst rappers ever. They just sound fucking weird. Like
I can't take anyone with a British accent seriously enough to feel afraid, and I feel like a lot of the hardcore rap that you hear from these guys is like rap is supposed to be in your face and intimidating.
yes,
And if you say jolly or wanker in any sentence, you're just not intimidating.
just their vernacular is it's not set up
yeah.
to be rude because they just use made up words. Everything is slang.
Like I mean, wank.
Are you taking the piss out of it?
Yeah.
Who the fuck would say that?
Don't take the don't take the piss on my name. It's like I don't know, man. It's just like I mean, granted, like we're all just animals, and like the UK riots and shit must have been a little unsettling, but I don't know, man. Just maybe it's because we beat you in a war. I'm just not scared of you guys. You guys are just like second-class citizens. You're just not important.
Well, you're French, so you can't be talking too much shit.
I'm actually more British than I am French. I go down the lines, which is so fucking funny. Well, I go down the lines as French, British, and then American.
So you're talking shit about
generation.
yourself.
Sure, but I was born in America. I'm talking shit about my third generation grandfather. He was a pussy.
So great.
Fuck
great,
that
great.
guy. Yeah, fuck my great grandfather. What a bitch.
Fuck him.
Little did he know he would end up on this shout out of a podcast. End up as a shout out on the podcast.
What's his name?
I don't fucking know him.
Thank you, Mr. Barden, and not Stephen Barden. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Steven.
Hello, shouts out for Stephen for letting us use his house to make that one video.
Yes.
Good guy. Where's your wife? Oh, wait. No flights.
Okay, so
Rest in peace. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
I didn't say anything.
Perfect. You just said, okay, so, and I thought you were going to go into it.
I'm thinking I need another beer.
Rolo, shut up.
That's the dog.
Yeah, I told you to bring 8. You brought 4.
Well, I only have 2 arms, and I can only carry 2 like this at a time. So,
See how I'm carrying it right now? You can fit 4 in one. So you could have brought 6.
so I could have still brought 6. I could have fit 2 more.
6 would be better than having 2 and then having to leave mid podcast.
Well, it would also be better if the camera didn't shut off mid fucking podcast.
Motherfucker, I'm working on it. I got a part coming on Sunday. I timed it yesterday. It goes for 30 minutes.
Exactly.
30 minutes exact, and then it goes into an idle state. So I'm thinking it's just because it's running on battery. So if I have it running into mainline power, it won't.
Like it's just being charged throughout.
Yeah. I don't fucking know. I might have to buy a different camera. Or we just go radio only and no video.
Full
Which
audio.
I don't have a problem with because we can still put it on YouTube. We just have a picture. Doesn't fucking matter. It's all the same shit.
Although I don't know if I'd watch the Joe Rogan podcast if he didn't have videos in his setup.
What we were just watching, it doesn't need video at all. You just see
I disagree.
Alex
I feel
Jones
like
flailing around. He wasn't even looking at shit half the time. He was just staring off into nothing.
I disagree, man. I
'Cause
feel
he's
like
fucking insane.
I feel like that makes it more.
It does give you
lively
something to
for
look
me.
at, which is nice.
It helps me engage.
It adds an extra bit of depth, whereas you're just putting it on in the background, listening to it while you do
Granted, too, yeah. I mean,
fucking like homework or like
or driving a
while you're-
FedEx truck. You homo.
Shouts out to Ralph. Shouts out to no more shout out. Never mind. That was I misspoke.
No more shout outs. Fuck shout outs.
So whether it's on in like the background while you're doing homework, cleaning, driving, working, just something else where you can't watch a video, it makes sense. But you're also not paying attention to it and its full potential, and the video kind of helps that. Where we have the logo or like we just have us. You can see what I'm wearing. I cut the legs off my pants because it's summertime. And, you know, I've had this suit since I won my first award at school.
Shouts out to Josh.
I wore this.
No
to
more
the-
shout outs.
I wore this to the airport when I went to Hawaii last year. You know, I bought this shirt. I wear this shirt to work. But it's very summertime, and it's my first day of summer. I'm excited.
First day of summer, last day of classes. 2 guys drinking beer.
2 dudes drinking beer. 2 guys.
2 dudes
already
drinking beer.
exist.
Yours is empty.
Almost empty. I'm like right here. It's weird how you can tell like the level of water.
Isn't it, right? It's like one
Or
of those
something
like
in a container you can't see. You can tell the level of it just by feeling it. It's like it's right there.
it's the idea of like they say you have 5 senses and you get the 6th sense, but really I think it's like you got hundreds of senses. Like if you put your hand behind your head and close your eyes, you could sense where your hand is compared to your head. Same reason you could poke your nose with your eyes closed. You could
That's
sense
a sobriety test.
Yeah,
It's also
but it's a sense in the brain.
it's a test it's a test for an ocular nerve test.
which is impacted by alcohol.
Yes.
So
but it's also like if you've taken
if your
like brain
ocular
damage,
nerves, sure, yeah, but it's easy because if you do it, there's a sense in your brain. You gotta close your eyes. There's a
Well,
sense in your
yes,
brain that's saying this is where my hand is, this is where my nose is, boop. But I forget where the fuck I was going with this.
I know where I can go with it. So
Take it.
there's this video I watch all the time. It's a forum. It's
Shout out to Vsauce.
I haven't seen a Vsauce video in like 4 years.
They're privatized now.
Oh, yeah.
He's like
They're-
Mythbusters.
Yeah, it's like
He's big
on
dick
YouTube
now.
Red.
Yeah.
Not Vsauce 2 though, but those are trash. Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, you look goofy, that's all.
And then
Nothing personal,
What
just
happened to
your
Jake
face.
on Vsauce?
Oh,
2?
Jake is the one who looks fucking weird. I don't know who Kevin is, but fuck you, Jake.
Kevin's Vsauce 2.
Vsauce. Who's the one with the piercings and
That's
like
Jake.
the yeah? Fuck
Vsauce 3.
Jake. Fuck you, Jake.
And
You
then-
fucking
And then Michael on Vsauce 1.
emo piece of
I
shit.
wouldn't say he's emo, but
Fucking.
so there's this one video I watch in particular every so often. It's this doctor. I don't know his name, but
Who?
It's this doctor.
Doctor Who.
I don't know his name. I hate that show. He's doing a cranial nerve exam on a hockey player from 1980. His name is Pat LaFontaine.
La Fontaine.
He's a hockey player, and I guess he sustained like some sort of head injury, and he was doing this cranial nerve exam. And so, like, with the touch your nose with your finger, he does that, but he moves his finger around. It says, touch your finger to my finger and then back to your nose. And he does it super fast. So it's like, no, like, okay, I'll move my finger. Touch your finger. Touch my finger. Touch your nose. So basically, he just does that. And
That's fun, actually.
I think it's the most fucking amazing thing, and it's actually pretty good ASMR.
ASMR.
Please don't do that to my fucking listeners' ears. Don't ever do that again. I'm gonna drown them out. Sorry. Are you done? No. I'd rather have them hear me yell than you whisper in their ear. That must
Sorry,
be the
man,
most.
I didn't mean to upset your listeners.
That must be the most.
I didn't realize this is
uncomfortable-
one dude drinking beer.
I don't think you have a good whisper voice.
I don't.
Hey, so we're now on ASMR. You're way louder than me.
Yeah, I know, because I have balls. It's called testicles. I was
No, it's
born with
because
them.
you probably turned yourself to be louder than me as a stake of dominance because I made fun of you last time.
That's what it is. You got me. Look, we're so even right now.
I mean, I'm hitting at like 10 and you're at like 8 or 9. You're still louder than me.
Oh my god, 1 to 2 dB. Oh my god, no way.
I'm also speaking directly into the microphone and you're off to the side.
I'm also speaking directly into the microphone right now.
Now you're at 6.
It's because my microphone's better.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm gonna make it so hard for me to edit this post.
Good.
Damn.
Good.
I don't
My
bring
microphone
laptop
is
either.
way better than yours. I wouldn't say way better, but my microphone is better than yours
For this.
in general. But it's not the Rode NT1A, I'll tell you that.
Fuck no, it's not.
Same price though.
You fucked up.
Yeah, but I like the Blue Spark Black Edition.
The Blue Spark is a super nice microphone.
That's this one.
Yep.
Or you can get the Audio Technica AT2020
It's a great microphone to start off with.
for
Don't-
$99.
I bought it on sale for $80.
Wow. $199.
Flex, but okay.
Better product for better price.
I bought this when I was 15 in high school.
I bought this last year.
It's lasted me. Jesus Christ! It's lasted me at least 8 years. I've had this microphone at least 8 years. I've recorded a ton of shit on it.
It all sounds the same. No progression. Move on.
I know.
Get new equipment. Use the
Working on it.
MXL you got for free.
I do. I use those all the time. The last artist I used it on though, it couldn't handle her vocal range.
Yeah, 'cause it's a trash microphone.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap, but I want to use the tube MXL I have. That'd be a good one. But anyway, it was also with that old interface that you have right now. That's only got 16-bit. So 16-bit mixed with like, it was like a 80 dB SPL. So it's very low.
Words and letters combined together to mean nothing to me.
To give you the skinny, it's like
What the fuck is the skinny?
the short version.
Who says that?
People in the 80s.
Were you born in the 80s? No.
I know people from the 80s.
Sure, we all do. Or your parents, at least.
Let me give you the skinny, dog.
What the fuck?
Base-
Give me the TLDR.
What does that mean? Letters together that are put together to mean something I don't know.
Too long didn't read.
All right. Too long didn't read means no matter how good the microphone is, you could only scream into it so loud before it sounds bad. And even though the interface wouldn't clip or distort the audio, the microphone would distort the
So
audio.
too loud, no work. Said it in 4 words.
So too loud, no work. 5 words.
So is not included.
I think it was.
I disagree. Too loud, no work.
So too loud, no work. Yeah, basically it's a lot of components in line that if one goes wrong, they all go wrong. It's like a chain of Christmas lights.
Wow, man, you should do this for a living.
I do.
Case closed. Problem solved.
Gang shit. But yeah, basically, you could have a really good interface and a really good microphone, but if you have a really bad computer or really bad software, you could run into issues. If you have really good everything but a microphone, like this microphone has an SPL of 120, meaning I could yell at 120 decibels.
It's pretty loud.
It's really good. It's really sturdy.
What is that, like a chainsaw?
It's like an audience or a cheering crowd
like a
at
chainsaw?
a. Yeah, probably like a chainsaw or like a lawnmower.
I like seeing those graphs of like,
I have it on my phone just for reference.
this
but-
is how loud like a person yells, and it's like fucking 10.
Yeah. Well, there's
Then
like
it's
a.
a car, and then it's like a train horn, and then it's like a fucking goes to like this asshole leaf blowing outside, and then gets to like an airplane and gunshots. What's the difference between a gunshot and a firework? I've always heard that.
Loudness-wise?
I've always heard that gunshots don't echo.
I've heard that too.
Also, there's a YouTube channel. It's Duck Quacks Don't Echo. It's actually a show, not a YouTube channel. My bad. They test like science shit. I think it's kind of like MythBusters. I've seen it like twice, but it's called Duck Quacks Don't Echo, and I think it's based on a real thing. What you watching there, buddy?
An ad came up. I don't have the.
Oh, okay, then worry about it later. It's not important then.
I gotta take a piss, and in that
Come on,
time,
man. You're supposed to do this before that. I can't stall for that long.
you'll be fine, bro.
Oh my gosh.
We need beer anyway.
I'm just gonna sit here in silence.
Go ahead.
It's gonna be awesome.
Let's get everything out of the way.
Okay, well,
Maybe you can whisper and do ASMR.
yeah, I'll just go back and forth between the
I'll be right back.
and there's pan it for me.
Take this time. Last time you left to get the beer, I said something.
You better fucking get a drink while you're gone.
I'm going to. That's what I said. That's
Good.
I'm going to pee, but I'm going to capitalize on that and bring back.
Don't wash your hands
Alcohol.
and then open mine for me.
Yeah,
Dip
I
your
know.
finger in and swirl it around.
Yeah, the usual.
Yes. It adds flavor.
The rusty musty. I know you like it.
It's like that meme where it's like that dude at the barbecue and the caption is when you
What
take a
the
shower before you go to your girl's house and she's like, the fuck?
I never shower before I go to my girl's house.
There's
You
no
get-
cheese?
You get stanky dick the entire time.
Apparently it adds flavor. Girls like that shit or something.
They also like hair.
don't
Don't
know.
shave your pubes. I'm out.
Because it makes you look like a boy, and they like men, not boys or something. Still don't know. Well, now that he's gone, and he talked shit last time, I think no matter how this goes, he said it was going to be a crash and burn situation. I disagree. I think if we put in the time where we've both dedicated 2 days out of the week to do this, and if we do it consistently, that's how you get success. You just keep doing it. You don't pay attention to your statistics. Pay attention to your statistics. You can learn a lot from them, but like, don't let these things bother you. So just because you don't see a lot of views doesn't mean you're not doing well. There's a ton of content uploaded every single hour. So you just got to keep doing it. Don't be discouraged. So that's the mindset I'm going into this with, where our first episode, the average view duration on YouTube it's now 6 minutes out of an hour. An hour's worth of us just rambling. People only watch 6 minutes of it. So I see that and say, okay, how can we do better? And so it's just, you got to keep going. We just got to be consistent. Our first YouTube channel, if you know anything about us, it was called CGM, Cows Go Moo Productions. Eventually turned into CGM Productions. We just made skits. And we started doing them fairly consistently, about once a week. And then we just stopped. Our first 3 had a very good trend of upward momentum, but then we just we couldn't make it. We were both busy, school, whatnot, work. Things just got in the way, and they didn't work out. So, okay, we got a dog now.
Dog ran in.
Hello. We have a dog now. Thanks. We've already been going for almost an hour. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. The first time
It
was
forever.
it was like agony, but
Yeah.
now it's just
Pulling teeth. Now we're just bullshitting.
we're just riffing.
This is my good boy Roro.
So when you were gone, I was talking shit because you said when I left that this was going to crash and burn.
Yeah.
And I said I believe in this if we're just consistent.
Okay.
And I was talking about our other channel, CGM,
Yeah.
and how our first 3 videos had a really good upward trend of like they were doing well, and then we just kind of stopped.
Well, yeah, we peaked.
Well, I wouldn't say we peaked, but if we kept going, something could have probably happened. But I mean,
Definitely, it's
we were
consistency
just,
always.
We were just busy, and it wasn't the time. Also, the quality was really low and bad.
Cheers. I got you. I got us some more apple juice.
Nice.
2 dudes drinking beer.
2 dudes drinking beer.
And Rolo. Rolo's our first special guest.
2 dudes and a dog.
Yeah, I know how this ends.
2 girls, 1 dog. 2 girls, 1 horse. 1 girl, 1 horse.
One
man,
horse. One horse.
1 man, 1 jar.
I love that he's got no idea what the
2 girls,
fuck is going on.
2 girls, 1 cup. I forgot the other shock videos. There's one where I've seen one where someone puts a basketball.
Meatspin.com.
That's a good one. I can watch that forever.
My favorite.
I think it's just fascinating. I don't know how it works.
It's endurance.
I put that on a computer in public somewhere. I don't remember where.
I think everyone's put that on a computer in public somewhere.
It was
And
at
then left.
it was at that party we had just recently. I put it on my laptop. And I left it going for a while and nobody noticed it except for Ryan when he got up to leave to the bathroom. When we were in the garage.
Oh, yeah, with Raul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
When everyone was over celebrating me.
Here's to Josh.
Woo!
2 dudes drinking beer.
2 dudes drinking beer.
I thought of something to say when I was downstairs and I completely fucking forgot.
That's why you write it down, man. I always tell you to write something down if you think about
I got 2 Frosty Boys waiting in the freezer. I wanted that to be a thing. I want Frosty Boys to be a name for when you put some beer in the freezer.
That already exists. I'm telling you now.
I'm
You
saying
haven't
right
coined.
now.
You haven't coined a new term.
I'm coining it.
It already exists. Unlike 2 dudes drinking beer.
Yeah, well, something like that exists.
Hey, puppy. Anyways, why'd you let the dog in?
He ran in.
You let him in.
You want me to kick his ass out? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not the bad guy.
He's just staring at me.
I love this dog.
I don't have anything for him. Well, yeah, you were there when he was a puppy.
He was my puppers.
I wasn't. I was out of the house still.
Which is why he loves me more.
I make it sound like I was in jail. I was away.
You might as well have been.
Might as well have been. It was fucking
I'll
hell.
let him out.
This is why you don't let animals into your recording studios. I'm just speaking from in general terms. See how fast he ran out?
Wanted the fuck out.
He hated it. Like, oh shit, I'm on the air.
They're not supposed to know where I am. I wanted to say while I was down there, your mom was just chilling on the patio,
Smoking weed.
smoking weed, drinking probably the strongest smelling margarita
Depending
I've
on
ever smelled.
if her employers watch. She's having
Allegedly smoking weed.
having fun. Living life as a 50-year-old woman
Who doesn't give a fuck anymore.
taking medicine.
Yeah. I got nothing.
We both opened our mouth like we were going to say something. Then
I'm a heavy breather.
We both did the.
I needed to catch my breath. Go ahead.
That's disgusting.
I know.
Fat ass.
Fair enough.
I don't think it's super ironic, but the fact that it's because you're short. That Raul weighs the least out of all of us. He does have like the most like physically demanding job, and that's where he gets most of his exercise.
Mm-hmm.
But like, shouts out to him, man. He's killing it,
Raul, the real Santa
and
Claus.
he doesn't hear that enough.
Big facts.
Raul, I'm super proud of you.
Keep killing it, man.
You're amazing.
We should get him on. It'll be 2 dudes and a Mexican drinking beer.
The name doesn't change.
I mean-
It's no matter how many people are on this show, it's still 2 dudes. He would have some good stories.
I feel like he should just have his own podcast telling stories about when he was trucking.
Give him a setup.
And when he can have this one, he can use your shit. I gave you all that shit too.
You only gave me the mixer
I know.
and this XLR. Everything else. Well, you left the XLR. You didn't give it to me. I stole
The
it.
cable?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I have 2 of them.
Keep it. He's got some crazy stories that even sometimes I don't believe because they're so just wild.
Well, that's our rule for you. That's what it's like to live in a different country and then come here and then do a crazy ass job and then stop your job because of your family, giving it all away. But
Tune into his podcast.
yeah, Raul, you should start a podcast.
Bro, you know how easy it could be though? Like all you got to do is talk to yourself while you're driving.
That would sound like shit, though.
Yeah, well, you got to start somewhere.
Ours doesn't sound like shit.
We didn't start here.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, we started with videos.
We started with dubbing our videos,
I do
like
audio.
We dubbed it all on that mic, and it sounded like shit.
I
It
didn't
only
know how to
sounded
do
like
it.
shit
Also, it was
because
also
it didn't match the video quality.
Yeah,
You have this really high quality audio,
and you're sitting about right here dubbing dialogue.
yeah,
You needed to be like realistically back. You need to be in the setting that you shot it in, and pick up the room.
it was trash.
Something you learn along the way.
Yeah, something we did 5 years ago.
Was it 5 years ago? I was talking to Ryan just last
Boozy
night.
Boy
Bro.
just turned 3.
I was talking to Ryan
Or
just
4.
last night. Fucking, what's his name? Died 5 years ago, 2016 or someone.
The one dude everyone was friends with that played
Anthony
music.
Bourdain.
Oh, someone else.
Either her or
That's a dude.
him or the girl who plays Princess Leia. from Star
Carrie
Wars.
Fisher.
Carrie Fisher. One of them died and it was 4 years ago. And I was like, no fucking way it wasn't. And he's like, yeah, dude. And then we looked it up.
They
And
both died like 4 years ago.
well, Bourdain died 2 years ago, but Carrie Fisher
I feel like he was
died-
a long time ago.
It does feel like a long time ago. But Carrie Fisher died 4 years ago, bro. And in that time, they released 2 movies.
Yeah.
But basically, I was like, no fucking way. Like, that's a whole high school career, bro. Like,
Yep.
and they still released movies with her. Blown away.
CGI, man. Goes a long way.
Insane.
Voice clips and editing someone's
All
voice
it
to sound
was.
like someone else.
All it was.
Stitching it all together. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is at a very nice place right now.
And we watched a documentary called "Have a Nice Trip,"
See you next fall.
and it was on Netflix about.
God damn it.
It was a documentary on Netflix about taking like hallucinogen or psychoactive drugs, and Carrie Fisher apparently liked to do a lot of acid back in her day. And then we got to hear her stories along with other artists.
I have some bad news.
The camera died.
The battery's dead.
Well, that's definitely on fucking you.
No.
Just sit down and we'll do the audio out. Who cares?
I want to try something first.
Get the webcam working.
Yes.
Ugh. I didn't wash my hands after taking a piss, and now my soda smells kind of like dick. My White Claw smells kind of like dick. My White Claw smells like a White Claw. Josh has been like, let's take this seriously, let's do this properly, and then forgets to charge the camera battery overnight between a 2-day break. This is our second podcast.
Motherfucker, I charge it every goddamn night. I take it out to test the time and I don't plug it back in. We lost 30 minutes. Oh, God, spare me. We're at the same goddamn time we were at last time.
Wait, did we lose all the video?
No,
Or
we
does the
don't-
battery
we
just
don't
die?
lose shit. It's still recording. It's on OBS. It's all the same.
Oh.
The camera just itself. Our feed died.
All right, well.
So now you're in the void.
Now you're in the abyss.
Don't worry. I'll put
a picture.
I'll put shit here.
We should.
Whatever we talk about in this part, you're gonna see.
Let's also remember to shout out the links of like Jerica and then the guy who did the hacker. We maybe post some pictures or something
the
like
hacker?
that. The guy who did the hack, who exposed the scammers in India. I talked about earlier.
Oh sure. Yeah.
Just something to look at.
Find me those links.
We'll
And if you
figure
hear
that
this asshole leaf blowing, I love this community. It's a really nice community, but
that's entitlement speaking.
No, it's not.
Check your privilege.
I live in an okay neighborhood.
You live in a shitty neighborhood.
Someone got shot right across the street
while I was outside, and then someone stole my car.
They're like just like me, except they were black.
No, they weren't.
That dude who had blonde hair who got shot right there across the street.
He was not
7-Eleven,
black, bro. He was white.
He was black.
He was white. Look it up. Put the link in the description for that one too.
Watch the fucking.
Because I remember seeing the camera phone footage. That's what she'd be playing right now. Just right now he gets shot, and then you replay it. Shot again. Back it up. Shot again. That's how you should edit it.
Because I know my mom was like.
His mom freaked out because he had blonde hair at the time and was like, "Oh my god, they shot my boy." Because Josh has a creepy obsession with knives, and this guy came after
I don't have
cop.
a creepy obsession with knives.
This guy came after a cop with a goddamn knife in his hand, trying to commit suicide by cop.
Right on the sidewalk,
Congratulations,
a mile around the corner.
Mission accomplished. A block away.
Because the entire perimeter of my community is 1 mile, and it was halfway around the second turn.
And I didn't have a car at the time, so I was walking. I think I was just going to Jack in the Box to get some food, and I had my headphones in, and I hear pop, 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 pop. No echo. But
no echo. So gunshots.
No echo. So gunshots confirmed. Don't echo. But some dude got shot down the block, and then I got home, and his mom was like, "What the fuck happened?" Thinking Josh got shot, and I was like, "What the fuck do you mean? What happened?" And then we looked. She showed me the video. It was this lanky blonde dude like running at a cop awkwardly, like Josh kind of would.
Fuck you, man.
Just saying, you run like
pro.
A bitch.
I run with proper form.
Like a bitch's proper form.
Like actual proper form. I'm a sprinter.
Come on. Okay. Dope.
You seen these legs? They're built for sprinting. They're built for short bursts.
That's why you cut off the sleeves of the pants, because you
the sleeves of the pants,
the aerodynamics,
the legs of the pants.
You needed the aerodynamics.
The legs, not the sleeves. Where do you keep your armies?
In your sleeveys.
There you go. Said that last time.
Yeah. Get some new material. You're a fraud.
Up. Okay, I learned that in fucking 2012.
Shouts out to Coach Fong. If we could find your @ we're putting you in the description too.
He doesn't have an @
We'll just put his house address then. It's all the same. @ Coach Fong.
On 123 Herbs Road.
On 123 Herbs Road.
Shout out if you know where that is. It's not an actual address, but the street name. Granted, everyone who's listening to this should know that street name.
Yeah.
Because our audience is very local.
Fun fact, the first time I smoked weed...
you don't have to admit to this.
Everyone knows I smoke weed.
It was illegal at the time.
Yeah, fuck that.
Statute of limitations.
So was sex at the time. I still fucked grown women.
Humble brag.
Either way. The first time I smoked weed, it was at this guy's house. I won't say his name because...
Oscar's friend?
Huh?
Oscar's friend?
No.
Oh.
I won't say his name. But he lived on Herbs Road, and like halfway through the bong rip, I like started coughing. I was like, dude, I just realized you live on Herbs. And everyone fucking like started laughing, and that was like one of the proudest moments of my life.
Nice.
I don't have an interesting life.
You played the joke of herb and herb.
Yep.
Smoking herb on herbs.
We live on herbs.
Even though it's not even spelled with an H.
We smoke weed every day, so we live on herbs.
You don't smoke every day.
I don't know. I smoked last night, but my cart is all fucking burnt out, so it tastes like wax. It's nasty. I'm trying to get some flour.
What are you, a kid and smoke fucking vape pens?
Yeah.
It's convenient. It's super easy.
I have my plug buying me some marijuana right now.
Fucking Ryan.
I didn't say that.
Blink once for yes, blink twice for no. They can't see. He blinks twice.
Or did I?
You'll never know.
Either way, I've determined smoking the actual flower is way better than any wax pen. Wax will get you high or whatever, but like just being able to sit down and have a bowl is like almost ceremonial. It's special at this point.
Yeah, I like to eat cereal too.
Shut up.
That was a good one. You have to admit.
It's 4 out of 10.
Perfect. I'll take it. Just like I hope I got at least
2 out of 5.
a 65 on my math final, because then I'll probably pass.
Yeah. You took a test today.
Yeah, I took 2.
How'd you feel about those? We didn't even talk about that.
Math was super rough. I took college algebra. I only skipped like 2 questions after I only did like half of them, but I couldn't finish them. So I feel pretty good. So it's taken on a third party online, and I got 16% on that because he said in all the questions like just write it on your paper. You don't have to fill in these answers. So like, cool. That grade doesn't reflect my actual work, so that doesn't fucking matter. I got a 16 online because he's just gonna grade what I did on my paper. And then going over to business, where depending on who's watching this, I'm not going to say how I took this test, but I took it all on Canvas by myself.
He took it legitly.
And I thought so when I was initially reading it, I saw it was worth 75 points, so I immediately thought 75 questions. Why I made that connection, I don't fucking know.
Well, kind of common sense. Every question should be at least worth 1 point.
Yes.
Worst case scenario, you double it in some points. So it's worth 150 if every point's worth 2, et cetera, et cetera. It's still the ratio should be the same.
So I'm sitting there taking it, and I'm like, fuck. She made it so you couldn't go back and like change any answers. Like
that bitch. Okay, first of all, fuck online classes. If you are in Moore Park or any UC, I would not register for next semester. I'd fucking let this blow over until you can get what you pay for, because you're paying for the college experience and you're not getting it behind a computer at home. So fucking, that's just my take on it. I couldn't go to college without the classrooms and shit. I don't know why they want to move it to computers.
All the new high school graduates that are committed to their high schools, they have to take this first semester. Otherwise, they have to reapply and might not get into those schools again.
Which is bullshit. Which I understand, obviously, but still, that's bullshit. I don't think anyone should be held responsible for that. I think you should be able to say, you know what, fuck it. I think the people who are coming out of high school, I know a lot of people with this mentality were like, yo, I'm going to take a semester off. And their parents laughed in their face. I was one of those kids.
Mm-hmm.
Take your semester off. Go to work. Who cares? Like, honestly, if your parents are that kind of wound tight, bro,
fuck them.
Fuck that. Yeah, like, they don't know you or who you are, and like, they're just throwing you to the wolves and making you do what they have to do, and that's not right. That's not cool, man.
I took a year off. I dropped out in 2017, and now I completely switched my majors, and I'm doing what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, taking time off helps, especially because
it's good.
Especially because I didn't do shit at all throughout high school. I graduated with like a 1.4 GPA. And which is pretty impressive to actually get in the first place, to actually do that poorly and still graduate. But like, high school's a fucking
joke. You got a
joke.
1.4 in high school? High school is a joke, but you got a 1.4 in high school?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's all like C's and D's. No, that's not even C's. That's all D's and F's. But like, I still had enough credits.
You seem like such a smart kid.
I seem like a smart kid.
Well, you are a smart kid. You're a smart person, for sure.
I can't be fucking bothered to do homework.
Homework was trash, bro. Homework is the worst.
Like, I just play video games. Like, that's what I do with my free time, and that's what hurts me even now. So like, online classes don't fucking work. In my accounting class and our online meetings, I would just play Minecraft.
Like currently during class?
Yeah, like
I would do the same thing.
The last like 4 weeks, I just built my Minecraft village while on accounting class. It's 2 hours.
Is Minecraft fun? Because I've low key been trying to get into it.
It's fun.
I think I could get into it.
It's cool. It's better with mods. Like the only
like sandbox mode or whatever.
Well, the whole thing is sandbox, but like the only mod I like. Okay, so there are maps in Minecraft, but there's no map, quote unquote. Like there's no sense of direction. You just
Well, everything's flat, right? There's no end.
Yeah,
to the
everything's
world.
flat, but like if you build a house and you venture off, it's really kind of hard to find your way back if you don't leave like markings. So I have a mod where like I can make waypoints, and it's like a beam of light in the sky. And so if I turn,
that's cool.
If I turn
Well,
around,
you have to build another house.
yeah. So like you lose all your shit if you don't take all your valuable shit with you. So like I can turn around and see my beam of light. And it's like, okay, my main base is right here.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So like that's the only mod I have. It's a quality of life thing. It's not to change the game in any sort of crazy way or add like crazy shit like a gun.
It just makes it easier.
It makes it a little bit easier.
Because you could just wander out forever. And does terrain regenerate automatically? Like if you just keep walking straight, eventually you're gonna hit an island that's like all decked out. Like it's just all random, or
Yeah, it's all actively generated.
that's so cool.
But like, so back to my finals. So like,
Yeah, sorry.
my business information system. It's not a business class. It's an Excel class. That final. So I thought it was 75 questions. It was fucking 32.
Gang shit.
And I'm like, I hit the last question. I hit next, but the next was submit because it was just to go. And I was like, oh shit, like I'm fucking done. I thought it was like 75. It caught me so off guard. And I was lost. I was like, well, that's it. It's only like took me 10 minutes.
That's why you got done so fast today, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I mean, I was scheduled until 12:15, but like, there's no online meetings in that class, so it's just like, I'm done. Okay, 52 out of 70. I got a 7. I got C's in all my classes except for math. But depending on how I did on that test, it'll be my first time. Second time passing a math. Statistics doesn't count as math. It's reading.
Statistics is bullshit.
If you can't do statistics, you're a fucking idiot. Anyone can do statistics. It's all reading. It's reading comprehension. And for being a little dyslexic, that shit's kind of hard.
Lisdexic.
Lisdexic. But yeah, Minecraft's pretty dope. You should get into it. It's super chill. It's nice to relax to.
Is it on Xbox One?
Yeah, it's on Xbox.
Because I play Smite on Xbox.
We can play now. My internet's back to what it was.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I'm down. Did you get the new box or whatever, or how'd that work out?
It's still the old box. I told you. So it was actually in the very first recording of our.
I remember it was the wiring of the house or whatever,
Yeah.
but you just changed the box back and it's
we're
good
just
as
using
new?
the old box. Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense.
It's fucking stupid. The internet companies are dumb. It's a monopoly. It's terrible.
Everything's money.
I can't wait until Google Fiber is everywhere.
Everything's money and no one has your back.
Yeah, it's stupid. I fucking hate capitalism.
It's the worst. You got to be born into success, or otherwise.
Not even that. It's just like the idea of a free market is cool, but it gets abused.
It's great. Yeah, but exactly. Like
It's
you have the scammers and the Indians, the Chinese, and everything around us
it's just abused
Going
to the
wrong.
point where like
to where the citizens can't even
the
operate.
rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I know it's a very cliche
Big
statement,
facts.
but like if you don't have money to enter, you're shit out of luck and you can't make that money.
The United States is an EA video game. Pay to play, pay to win.
Everywhere else is Ubisoft where it's just fucking broken.
Oh my god. That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Ubisoft makes trash games. Ever playing Assassin's
Shout out,
Creed?
hang on, shout out to Tom Clancy. I think that's Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I like I'm a huge fan of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Bring that shit back. That shit should be fucking every year, like Call of Duty. Some shit should be released. Y'all are
Then it
fucking
goes
up.
to trash. Call of Duty hasn't been good for like 6 years.
But Tom Clancy's been good for the last 10. Because it was 10 years ago since they released something.
Okay, then sure. But Ubisoft makes trash games. Ever playing Assassin's Creed after 2? Terrible.
No, I've never played Assassin's Creed, but I've told you I've played like the
It's on the
demos and
Xbox.
shit.
It's already downloaded. Play Assassin's Creed 2, and if you didn't...
I told you I've tried it and it's like super slow.
Yeah.
I hate games that are aside from Splinter Cell because you can move fast. It's just you choose to go slow. But Assassin's Creed is like the walking mechanics are just hard. Everything sucks. Everything's super slow. Everything feels so fucking slow. Everything on Xbox, fucking slow. Hit and hold A to confirm. Let me just push X or whatever button it is they have. I'm used to PlayStation.
ABYX.
ABXY.
ABYX. I did it mirrored
Okay.
for you too.
Fair enough. But I've been a PlayStation fan my whole life.
PlayStation sucks.
I disagree, but shout out to Josh for giving me his Xbox One during the quarantine.
I mean, to be fair, the
play
only
some games.
exclusives that Xbox has is Halo and Gears of War, and nobody plays
Halo
Gears of
is
War anymore.
amazing.
Halo is cool, except after Halo 4, it gets weird. Halo 5, I don't think is out yet. It could be. I might be wrong. 100% wrong.
Didn't you buy the whole
I bought the Master
package?
Chief Collection on Steam, but all the games aren't out yet. Who the fuck is yelling? Oh, it's the goddamn kids on the
These
fucking dirt
motherfuckers
bikes.
have like motorcycles
Mini
and go karts behind us. They look like they're home built.
These parents also grow weed in their garage. Expose them. Call 911.
You heard it here first, folks.
That's why you have a lazy Susan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's why you put it far away from me. So I can just spin it and get the full functionality of it.
Well, if you're not going to use it, you lose it, you know?
Fair enough. Might as well.
You might as well go to town, do what you got to do.
Anything you're excited for in the upcoming future?
I've got a few songs I'm working on with other people.
Talk about it. I want to go to the bathroom.
I've got a few songs I'm working on with my roommate. He's a really dope artist. He has a collective or a band. I'm not sure if you'd call it a band, but they go by the Midnight Drive or just Midnight Drive. He's got this great song called Above the Water, and I don't remember the name of the other song, but he's a super dope artist. His name's Drew. Check him out. Super cool dude. And then my other roommate ends up being a rapper. Hopefully we get to work on some raps together soon. I'm working with Lyndon. He's a super dope, talented artist who writes some really great pieces of music, and it's like current sounding, but it follows a really strict classical format, which I think is super fun. I just released the song with Ezra, Break It Down. Super happy about that one. We got, I'm just always working on stuff with artists, and I'm always looking forward to all of it, because I think realistically I tell everyone the same thing. Like, I don't make music for you. I make music with you. And I'm going to sit down in a room and like, we're going to kick it and vibe, and then we're going to see what feels good and what sounds good. And basically the song we're working on for the lead singer of Midnight Drive, we recorded some guitar parts, and there's no amps or
No oranges?
no amps.
No oranges.
Oh yeah, no orange amps. Orange amps are
Everywhere.
they're also super easy to work with.
That's a music joke.
It is.
Or
That's
a
funny.
live performance joke. Just a music joke.
Just a music joke. But basically, there's no amps or anything. There's no processing on the guitars aside from like reverb and delay.
So it's real.
So it's real, but it's like, I was like, bro, like it just sounds good the way it is. Like, we don't need to put amps or distortion or anything. Like, it's just the tone of the guitar. And he's like, sure. And I was like, dope. So we just kind of go with whatever sounds good and whatever the feeling is, and we just kind of ran with it.
Is he hard to work with at all?
I've been super fortunate to work with people who are very patient and listen to my input, and I listen to their input. And I talked about this with Lyndon and Andrew both recently. I was like, the reason I think we have such a good chemistry is because we've been through just working with shitty artists who are like I want this to transition every 5 seconds, or I want this to happen at this point in time, and I want this to happen. And it's like they're very picky, and they kind of shut you out as a producer or an editor and don't listen to your take on things. And I think that really hurts them overall because what art is a process. And if you work with 3 to 4 other people who are artistic and talented, I think that's going to make the product better. And if you don't let it grow organically with everyone in the room, then there's no point in having them in the room. So I'm very fortunate to have everyone kind of be like, yo, whatever you're feeling, and then I'll say what I'm feeling. And then I remember little shit I used to kind of get in like little tips about with some artists that you work with. I'd be like, I like it going like this. How do you feel? And they'll be like, I don't care, dude. Whatever you want to do. And it's like, I'm like, okay, but like, if you don't like it, just tell me. He's like, bro, like, I know what you're doing. Like, it's cool. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, because not being like a creative type, like a quote unquote creative type, being an editor by trade and everything that I've worked with, everyone I've worked with is a fucking diva. It's Facts. The worst. Creative types, you guys are the worst.
We are. But there's a sorry to cut you off, but there's a small group of creative types I think that I've worked with lately that I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I could be like this person and still have creative integrity. But go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Some of them get it, but a lot of them, 99% of them don't fucking understand shit.
It's me.
Yes, and they're super unrealistic, and they're just literally the worst. Like, the first time I made a music video, there was like 20 different versions.
At least.
And it was the best at like version 12.
I thought at version 7, but
like,
yeah.
Everything after that was
everyone's got the different opinion.
Everything after that was what he wanted, and it made everything worse.
It made everything way worse.
And I would give my input, and he'd be like, "No, this is what I want."
Yeah.
So the people who are like, "I want this," are literally the worst. And if you're
especially when they don't take the time to outlay the foundation, because he started wanting effects that weren't even shot properly for those effects, and
yeah, if there's no framework, you
didn't understand the basis
correctly.
of it. Yeah,
and like, so if you're ever in this line of business and you're working with someone who says,
write it on paper.
If you're like, I want this, get out. Fuck them. They're not worth it.
They got to be open to change.
You can't have someone be like, I want this, and expect it to go well, because they're always going to battle you and not know when to quit when you already have something good.
Mm-hmm.
You've been kind of a diva, but you've gotten a lot better. We started out as
yeah, like I said, I'll admit to that every time. I started out as that person. I was very much like this way or no way, and I realized I was hard to work with, and I realized more importantly that not only was it hurting the art, but it was hurting my friendships. And I was like, look, I can have it my way and I could be alone, or I can have it a little bit wrong and I can still be surrounded by good people who are well-intended. And I chose the good people who are well-intended as opposed to my pride, because I would rather be working with Josh and be like, can you do this? And then he'd be like, yeah, but I'd rather not because X, Y, and Z. And I'll be like, fair enough. Let's move on. Which is kind of why I have such a strong take on this podcast of like, I don't care. And I'm really coming in like, I don't care. I'm going to post the links and whatever, but I'm here to drink and have a good time and hang out and, you know, let this be the podcast that it needs to be. And that's what I've learned. Like, I can't go in the studio anymore and say, we're going to make this song. I can't go to a show or anything and say, I'm going to have this experience. I have to go in with no expectations. And it's like, that's the key, is if you don't know what you're going to come out with on the other end, you're going to like it a little bit more. At least in my experience and working with Josh, there's been a few instances where like you did all my videos basically.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned, and most recently he surprised me with videos of my album, and I posted that on my YouTube channel. and they were all cut to the same exact time. So some songs were like 5 minutes and some songs were 2 to 3 minutes, but they all had the 5-minute template he used. So after like 2 or 3 minutes, it just goes black. And I had that conscious decision of I could send this back to him and say, hey, fix this, or I can just say thank you because you did a nice thing and move on. I chose that. Obviously, I'm saying it now not to call you out. I don't care about it. But
did they all have that? I don't think they did. I think
they all have the exact same end time. They all run the exact same amount of time.
I will fact check you.
Go ahead. But basically, that was a conscious decision I made to where I'm like, look, I could be this guy who's like always super demanding, saying I know what I want, and like that's important. But at the same time, like it's also just as important to release material. And if I have to release material that's sometimes what I feel is half-baked, sure, do that. And I've been telling all the artists I've been working with, Lyndon, for example, he pitched me a few ideas for TV shows, and I was like, these are great ideas, man, but like it's not going to matter until we get an episode recorded. It's not going to matter until we have an episode done. So don't worry. It's like, stop worrying about how good or the integrity of it and just do it. Like, just let it happen. That's the process to me, is you have to be in there with people who have different views and opinions, and you have to just let it go from one thing to the other. Because if I say I want ABC to happen and someone says I want CBA to happen, and I just say no, well, I'm wasting their time, I'm wasting my time, and a lot of energy in fighting with that person on our creative differences. If I say I want ABC to happen, he says I want CBA to happen, and I say, could we at least try BAC first? Then that's like a more, I don't know if judicial way is the way to say it, but like it's just a more democratic process. And like that's kind of the way it has to be. Like you have to be a cool person. You have to not be a dick in order to get these jobs again. And that's really what it, and it's not like saying I'm nice because I need the money or I need the work. It's like I'm nice because I've learned it makes the better product, and when we make a better product, that's what gets me the work. Not necessarily being like a kiss up, or like it's not customer service. It's just a matter of being like a nice person and, you know, putting in your artistic integrity, but also if it gets shot down, like you can't get your feelings hurt. You have to keep your ego out of it, because that's what's going to piss you off. And as soon as you're pissed off or you start feeling a way that doesn't vibe with whatever you're going with, that's where it fucks up. And a lot of people will say, because you have a different take on it artistically, they feel attacked, or they feel like you're kind of not right for it. So you kind of got to be open to everything and just kind of subtly bring in your opinion as you go. That was a ramble and a half.
Yeah. So after some fact checking, he is correct. The videos I made were half-assed, and I apologize.
No, man, don't apologize. I won't accept it because I love you. You're my best friend. You're one of my best friends.
To be fair, you could have cut him down yourself.
Absolutely. But I was just happy to have a video. And that's the thing. Like, and that's another thing that crossed my mind. It was like, I know I could do this if I really wanted to.
I wouldn't know the difference.
I know.
I didn't even know the difference of it then.
And that's the thing. Like, I didn't even say anything. I was just, I noticed it right away, but I was just like, thanks, man. Like, that's...
Well, they're all 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
Yeah, exactly the same time. But I didn't let it bother me because I've worked with Josh for so long, and like, you know, it was just nice that he did that for me. And I'd rather just say thank you and put it on my YouTube channel with 2 minutes of silence on some songs than, you know, worry about the overall song, because the song speaks for itself already on the album. The videos on YouTube are just like a seasoning, and it just adds to it. So I'm not worried about it. And
depth.
yeah, and I'm really working on myself in the sense of like, I need to learn to just not care. I've worked so hard to learn to be able to create music and create and mix and master or whatever it is. I put so much effort into doing that I have to be able to let go and just trust that I can do that after I make a good song. So I need to just trust everyone around me and say, this is who I am, this is who they are. We're all just trying to make a good song. We're all talented, we're all skilled in this area. We could all do the job we're here to do. Trust them and then do it. Because I know I've put my hard work in, and I know they've put their hard work in, and whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. And then one day, we'll just be looking back on it, because I know for sure we'll look back on it, and he'll be like, every song was 3 minutes and 59 seconds. 53 seconds. You know, he probably will look ahead next time that happens, and it won't be an issue again. So it's like, why would I change the process? If someone needs to learn from something or someone needs to grow from something, let that happen organically, let that happen how it needs to happen, and then just release the next song, release the next video, release the next podcast, because that's really what it's about. It's not about having one really good podcast. It's about having 10,000 podcasts that are just listenable.
Consistency.
Yeah, it's really just about not that album, but the next one, or not that photography session, or that one. You know, not this wife, the next wife kind of thing.
Steven. Attaboy. Keep moving on.
I'm just saying.
Women are objects. You conquer them.
Women are objects.
I'm a feminist.
Sure. I'm just saying, like, I can sit here and really put 100% of myself into one song, or I can just trust myself that I know how to make a song, give it to a video editor, give it to a mixing engineer, give it to a mastering engineer.
That's me.
And that will all make it that much better, rather than feeling like I have to provide 100% of it. Because I don't have to provide 100% of one thing. I need to provide 15% of one thing, and everyone needs to provide their 15 to 10% to 5%, whatever their job requires them to put into it, to equal 100% of a product. And I'm learning that, and I'm working on that consciously every day when I'm working with people. In fact, I'll keep rambling for a little bit longer. I got in contact with this girl on Instagram, and we talked about writing a song together. And long story short, she was like, just send me something and I'll write you a melody.
Ooh.
And I was like, but I don't need a melody. Like, that's not necessarily something that's like needing to be done. Like, I was like, can we just sit down and get in the same room together and, you know, make a song from scratch? And she just never replied. And for one reason or another, I think it's because she just wanted to do a melody, or maybe that's just what she like specializes in or whatever. But I didn't have anything to send her that needed a melody. You know, I usually sit down with artists and people and just build from scratch. So we just had different processes.
Yeah, man. That's how it goes.
Gotta pee again.
Come on. You're going to spend all that time just rambling and then be like, peace, I'm out, I got to piss.
I'm back.
Here's Josh with nothing to go off of.
Take your time.
I actually have some somber news. I got the grade on my math final. It's 65.5%.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm going to end the class with a D. It's rough. So I got everything else passed with a C or better. Except for college algebra, I got a D, which is better than the first time I took it because I got a W. But technically a D is worse than a W because a W doesn't hurt your GPA, but it looks worse on your transcript. But I can still take calculus because there wasn't a prereq for some reason on calculus. At least it didn't say so when I was signing up. But I think it's because that it saw that I was already in like the prerequisite class. But that shit's going to be rough. Like, granted, half of it was because it was online. And if homework isn't required as a grade, then there's no motivation to do it, right? So, like, if your professor doesn't require you to do homework, then why would you do homework? There's no point. It literally offers nothing except for, like, the super nerd, like, I want to know this information better, but there's no motivation to do it. I'm saying part of the reason why I got my grade, my D, my 67, is because, like, half of it was online, yes, but also that homework isn't required. So there's no motivation.
So you never did the practice work?
There's no motivation to do it. So it's like,
Yeah.
if homework's not required, why would I take this extra step? It's just a waste of time. It's not a waste of time, but like...
I heard that people are getting assigned like 3 to 5 hours of homework more than what they're usually assigned to when they went to class.
I mean, yeah, my homework assignments are super big, but you didn't have to do all of them.
I'm just saying, like...
It was just like to get a good grip on the subject.
Yeah.
But, I mean, homework in college is still a lot because you're expected to only do college and that's it. You're not expected to have another job outside of it. They think that you're only there for that. That's the whole point. That's why assignments are huge. But in the reality of things, we're all our own adults and we're all... Shut the fuck up.
We got shit.
We're all doing something. But there's very few people who are only at college for college.
This one smells like dick, too.
Wash your hands then. Stop dropping wood, neighbor.
I agree, man. I think that's one of the fundamental things too. When I really think about it, it feels like classism because
100%. College is classism.
Because people who attend college and teach college, I can't tell you how many professors I've met who just accept no late work and accept no this and no that and no nonsense. And you could tell they never went to college while working at McDonald's or had to pay rent on their own. They
already had money.
They just were, had a full ride or whatever it was. They didn't live the same life that so many college students are living.
Like the working student.
Yeah, and now they're forced to interact with people who are working. Like one of my favorite professors, I don't want to say my least favorite because he's a really nice guy, but Nathan Bowen, I never really kind of clicked with him.
He's your least favorite? He was a cool dude.
Not my least. That's what I said. He's not my least favorite, but like he's like his teaching style.
Oh, it was terrible.
It's not great. Like
I didn't even know. Okay, so I'm gonna cut you off real quick. But keep a pin in that. So I took a class with him for like
meow
6 weeks, and it was an electronic music production class. It was the how to DJ class because Moorpark has like their specialized programs of like TV and film and music and whatnot. Like those classes are super basic. There's a single camera production class. It's basically the how to YouTube class.
Yeah, right.
And then the EDM class is how to DJ class. It teaches you how to use
electronic music production and synthesizers and software.
And I went in without a shred of knowledge of basic music understanding.
Which is totally fine because there was an intro to the course.
Yes. But, like, when the dude next to me is making fucking Beethoven's symphonies and shit.
Yeah.
Because he already knows how to play the piano and everyone else knows how to play the piano. I'm already at a disadvantage. And the teacher expects me to already know something, so fuck them.
They expect you to be on a certain level.
Yes.
No, I totally agree. Especially, I went to Moorpark as a music student, and I'm up against people who do music since the time they were old enough to play their instrument.
It's fucking 3-year-olds playing.
3-year-olds playing piano, and I've met people with perfect pitch and who can just recite and transcribe a song from memory. So some people who are extremely talented, and me coming in with no experience, expecting to be on that level, obviously I fell behind. And I think if you look at it, it's very much like the whole like fail the first semester, pass the second semester, fail the first semester, pass the second semester. And I've taken multiple classes 2 to 3 times just in order to pass. So the competition, the field is really heavy. But I think they're training you for different things. Like they train you to be a musician in those classes, and I kind of have the ambition to create music and not just recite music.
Orchestral musicians make dick for money, though.
Depends. A lot of, I mean, you're right though. A lot of them do have second to third jobs. But anyway, I think what I was trying to say about Nathan Bowen was that I don't think he's a bad teacher because I think he's definitely knowledgeable. But I think, like, he definitely knows what he's talking about, but he doesn't know how to talk to us about it. He's very much that guy who's telling the dad jokes and acting quirky and silly and thinking he's funny, when realistically he should be focusing on, does the class understand it? When realistically he'll be like telling a really forced dad joke and then being like, get it? And no one's gonna laugh. And then being like, all right, well, like, you guys just don't understand it. And it's like, there's a lot of that. It's like a Marvel movie to me. It's like you have a really good plot and a really good agenda. You can start from the beginning and go to the end, but when you add all this unnecessary joke and unnecessary material in between, trying to get a laugh or trying to be the funny guy or the silly guy, it takes away from the lesson. And you don't have to be serious and you don't have to be too strict, but when everything is super silly and not taken seriously, people are going to lose you. And you also have people who understand the topic really well, but don't know how to teach the topic very well. I think he very clearly understands what he's saying, but he doesn't know how to say what he knows. And then I can't say, I don't know what you mean. He doesn't know how to explain it. He just goes, well, that's what it is. For instance, one day in class, he used the terminology turntabling. And I was like, turntabling? Because it didn't sound like a real term. And he's like, yeah, turntabling. And I was like, why did you call it that? And he's like, because I'm educated and I have a not a scholarship. He's like, I'm scholarly and I have a degree in music. And I was like, okay, like fucking
humble brag.
Yeah, dope, fucking. But like, is that the word? And he's like, yeah. And it very quickly became in this weird tension of like,
I'm better than you.
Yeah, it was more like you didn't have to like shit on me in front of the entire class because I asked you if turntabling is a word. Despite your scholarship and your degree and everything, like, you can be wrong. And I didn't ever check up on him if it was a word or was not a word. But I was honestly so pissed off. He's like, because I'm educated and I'm like scholarly in this aspect. And I was like, bro, fuck you. Like, honestly, who are you to say that you're the best teacher at this? Like, sure, you understand it, but you're just not. You could be a good student, but a bad teacher. You know, like, yep. And you clearly know your shit, but you don't know how to teach.
And on the other end of the spectrum, a teacher we've shared in common who was super goofy and told dad jokes, but a really fucking good professor.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Matthew Morgan?
Matthew motherfucking Morgan.
Yo, shouts out to Matthew Morgan.
He is the best, goddamn, single-handedly the best professor at Moore Park College.
And on top of that, too, just a good human being.
He is the coolest dude ever. I'd love to have a drink with him. Professor Morgan.
See, and that's the thing, too.
Somehow you're watching this and listening
I
to this
hope you're watching
this far, I'd love to have you on this show. We can talk about philosophy all goddamn day, and maybe some symbolic logic if you want, because I took that class and I barely remember anything. But I love Matthew Morgan. I love his teaching style. He's super understanding. Granted, I had to take the intro philosophy class twice because I failed it the first time because I stopped going. He's just an all-around super cool dude. Told us real as shit dad joke. Sorry if you're listening. A really bad dad joke.
But he was still a good dude, so it didn't matter.
Every time. Yes. Super great guy.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
I don't know what you're referencing.
Oh, that was a joke he told in my class, so...
Okay, well...
Apparently he keeps the material fresh, and that's even more respect.
I took the class twice, and I reheard some jokes.
All right, well...
But, like, just a great professor. Philosophy is a real dry subject, too, but he still made it kind of interesting. Granted, when I took it the second time, I already knew what he was asking for some of the questions. So like I wasn't cheating, but
He
like
was flexing.
I had like the upper hand because I like philosophy. It's cool. And so when I took it the first time, like I kind of half-assed paid attention because it was right before I burnt out and dropped out. And so the second time, I still kind of remembered everything we talked about in the class. And so it kind of gave me the upper hand, but like I got a B in the class, which is pretty good, pretty cool. But symbolic logic is hard. Logic in general is hard.
It's hard to be smart.
It's hard to be smart because it's arguments and how to build an argument properly and decipher the individual
How to
parts.
be reasonable.
Yeah, women don't understand.
Oh, no, they don't.
But like defining the parts of an argument and like proving the validity of the argument through the pieces of the argument in itself, in the sentence, taking various parts of that sentence and proving if the argument itself is true or false, using only what you're given in the sentence.
Hyperanalyzing.
It's rough. It's a rough time. I'm happy I passed with a C.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid who was actually in that class was in my accounting class. His name is Ian. I don't know his last name, but his name is Ian.
Gay name.
I-A-N.
I don't like your name.
You don't like Ian?
I don't like Ian's.
It could be all right. Mr. Dupes.
I like Mr. Dupes.
Mr. Dupes. He's all right. His content's whack, but, you know, it's all right. Is that a fucking horse? Oh, that's a go-kart. It sounded like a horse whinny.
What's it called? Not a...
It's like one of those Mercedes you buy for your kids.
Yeah. Not Hot Wheels.
It's not a big wheel.
Power
either.
wheel.
Power wheel.
Power Wheels.
Sure, we'll go with that. Those cars you buy for your kids.
Anyway, I just want to take one more moment to say Matthew Morgan is the prime example of someone who understands his topic, understands the material, and understands how to be a teacher.
He also understands that it's not an easy topic to understand.
Exactly. So if I say to Matthew Morgan, I don't understand it, he'll say, okay, how can I help you understand it? Blah, blah, blah. And he'll go through different teaching strategies to find a way that almost suits you personally. Whereas if you're like, hey, Bowen, I don't understand this. He'll be like, well, you should. And if you don't, read the book because that's just kind of how it is. He's like, I don't know how else to explain it. I've explained it perfectly. I use the exact definition. If you don't get the exact definition, then the issue's on you.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing I can't fucking stand.
I would love to take another Morgan class.
I would absolutely do it. I do it for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. I only need 3 more classes and then I'm out. But I mean,
Gang shit.
Depending on how everything goes.
Wait, I also missed the grade. Was it somber news you didn't pass?
Oh, I got a 65 in the class.
So you still passed technically.
Barely. With like a D. And I don't know. It should transfer over because when I was signing up for calculus, I checked the prereqs. And it didn't say that college algebra was one, but like it kind of is.
It's basically always going to be one.
So like, but it wasn't like in the like, you need this, otherwise you can't take the class.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
For sure.
That's going to be rough in itself. But Matthew Morgan, once again, please, if this
hit us up, homie. We'll be 2 dudes drinking beer with Matthew Morgan.
If this gets to you somehow, we can.
I'll fucking send it to you, bro. Fuck this.
Method the fuck out of this.
Fuck
bitch.
this, bro. Let's just send it to him.
Yes. Email him.
Hit him up.
Student email.
mmorgan at vcccd.
I still have it.
Hit him up.
I want you on this show.
We're just some. This is honestly, we're just some philosophers, bro. We just sitting back. Socrates used to drink wine, and just think.
We're little boys.
This is all we. Yeah. Well,
we don't talk about the.
We
kid.
can be your little boys. You could be Socrates. How's that sound?
Oh, he has a wife and kid. Kids.
I don't know, man. I've seen some people who are into some weird shit.
Disregard that, Matthew.
We're just saying.
I would love to have him as a guest.
I would too.
Just get philosophical.
Even if we had to just go to let's just go to his office hours. Let's see if we could figure out a way to do that.
Record it on our phone.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I could bring this setup. It'd be an easy setup. We just need a laptop and like a charger, but we'll be
Matthew,
fine.
please allow us to record you.
On campus while drunk in your office during office hours.
2 dudes drinking beer on Moore Park College.
After dark.
No, that would be super cool. He's a really nice guy,
Yeah.
and we're not his students anymore, so like it doesn't matter if we hang out with him.
The epitome of what I want in a teacher.
Best teacher ever.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes, yes,
FTBM.
Well,
You were cool.
that just goes to show you, man. You could even be. I mean, the teachers Bowen, someone I suppose I am complaining about. You can be a teacher of something I really care about and really love and I'm really passionate about, and you could just not connect with me. You could just not connect with your students. And granted, Matthew Morgan probably doesn't connect with all of his students, but at the same time, like,
He puts in the effort.
yeah, the effort's there. And for a lot of the music teachers, it's just like, well, I use the exact definition. If you sing the wrong note, there's nothing wrong with it. You just need to not suck and fucking get better.
Bro, in my fucking philosophy,
And it's all you, not me.
in my fucking philosophy class, 2 kids were ready to throw hands. Like it was 30 seconds away from a punch being thrown, and he was like, "Guys, follow me outside." No one got in trouble. No one got dropped. No fucking anything was happened. Like no interventions, no like behavioral.
No one needed to come.
No behavioral forms are filled. No bits. It's just he diffused the situation. Like, guys, I know it's stressful. Like everything going on. This was like the second week of class, or like really early on in class. He was like, I know we're all busy. We all have our own things.
Yeah, bro. And that's the thing too. He's like, we all have our own life.
He
right?
wasn't talking about
He's
you.
like, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out.
Philosophy.
Yeah, and like, let's talk about it.
It was
Damn.
negotiations and problem solving with Matthew Morgan breaking up a fight
Literally, it's like,
that CJ would have won.
oh shit.
Josh was a bitch.
Fuck Josh.
Yeah, he told my name.
He stole your name.
He stole my name. And the funny thing about this Josh kid is like, we were talking about music very briefly, and he was like, "Yeah, I went to the LA recording school, and I spent."
Everyone who went to the LA recording school, suck my fucking dick. You're not better than anyone. Most of you are garbage, and you don't know shit about dick.
He looked like
Eat my ass.
He looked like he was in the mafia, like that kind of dude. Slick back hair, kind of like Ryan's, but like, and he actually kind of wore like the same kind of jewelry as Ryan too. So I don't know, Ryan, if you're trying to pretend you're in the
It's
mafia.
a thing, man. It's
Like,
a thing.
he had that kind of
It's a vibe.
style and swagger. It was like, I'm in music, you're not. Fuck you. I have money, you don't. Fuck you.
So many people have that attitude, and that's a lot of people who I work with will be like, man, you're not like other engineers, because like a lot of engineers have that entitlement. You know, engineering is just like a job of being a teacher, right? Like you spend a lot of time trying to understand one thing, and then people hire you to do that thing for them or teach you about that thing. And when you work so hard at something, you feel entitled because you understand it and they can't do that job without you. Like, I don't know dick about cameras or recording, or even how fast you set up those social media accounts for 2 dudes. I could not have done that. I don't have the patience or the know-how. But the thing is, people who let that be something that defines them and makes that a character trait of who they are, that's where it becomes problematic, because all of a sudden you have this entitled engineer who pisses off the artist, who doesn't do, the best performance they can do, and then it's just the snowballing effect of this negativity and shit. And that's what it is with everything, with teaching, with employment. You just have to be understanding and a little smart and patient.
Would you ever be a teacher?
I would not be a teacher in a school unless it was like a nonprofit kind of thing. I think I'd like that if the kids were like really into it. I think I would rather prefer like a mentorship.
Like one of those trade schools? Like the LA Recording School Studios Institute?
I don't know if I would be qualified. I would like to do a guest appearance. I know they do guest appearances for like Boy Wonder and DJ like Swift and all these big names. They bring them in because they're industry people.
Yeah, so does the Moore Park Awards show every
Yeah,
spring.
like I mean, here's the thing: if Moore Park was like, "Hey, can you be on a panel, or can you just come in and talk to students about your success in music and your success in this?" I'd be like, "Yes," because that's what got me through it. I remember also, again, shouts out to Bowen. One of the things, I guess, that one of the highlights of his class was that he got a job doing a soundtrack. He had to write music for an app. He got hired to do compositions for an app or like an advertisement or something. And literally, I was like, "Can we see how you would do that?" Like in the middle of class. And I was like, "I'm sorry, I just feel like that's way more relevant and way more important." And he's like, no, it's cool. Like, honestly, like, that is more relevant to what you would be doing in a real life situation. It is something you would need. And we just sat there and we watched him break down how he wrote this song for this app. And that was like a really great real world experience. And we were like, "That's amazing. So they just came to you?" And he's like, "Well, I've known these guys for like 20 years. And I was like, "Jesus Christ." Like,
it's all about who you know.
It's all who you know. And I was like, "So it's really just go out there and grind." And he's like, "Yes." And I was like, "So realistically, they could have gone to anyone and asked them to make music." He's like, "Yes." And I was like, "But they came to you because they knew you." He's like, "Yes." Also, I guess he gave him like a pretty fat discount. But like, basically, he's like, "Here's my rate." He ended up taking, he said my rate is, he's like, I think it's going to take me about 14 hours. He's like, I'm willing to commit 14 hours to this job. I'll charge $100 an hour. So I charge $1,400 an hour for this job. And his friend was like, "How about we give you 8 because that's what our budget is, and you do a half-ass job." And he was like, "Deal." And he literally finished the song start to finish in the period of a class. So about like an hour and 45 minutes, in about almost 2 hours, he finished some like song for an app. And I was like, "I'm so sorry, like, that we ended up," because I'd ask a question, then everyone else would ask a question. And I was like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I definitely derailed this whole class session from, whatever the rubric, what is it called? The syllabus. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I derailed the class from the syllabus." And he's like, "Don't even worry about it, dude. Because honestly, I think people cared more and more engaged about this than anything I've ever taught." And I was like, "Well, that's awesome. But like, maybe we should do this again." And he's like, "Well, like, we still have like, requirements and this and that." And like, so that's why I'd want to be like an apprentice, because I could just be like, whatever comes our way, we handle it. Because if we work on a TV show or a song or a live recording, those are all going to be different approaches and different techniques and lessons that you learn. And that's how I prefer to learn. I'd rather just follow 1 or 2 people, much like I do on YouTube or, however I get their information, and just kind of watch closely and listen to what they say I should do and then try it. And if it works, great. If not, whatever. But it's more about just having tools in your arsenal.
Well, we've doubled essentially what we did on Monday.
Are we at 2 hours?
Yeah.
All right.
So I think this is a good place.
This is a great spot to stop it.
So thank you guys
Thanks for tuning in.
If you made it this far, thank you so much.
Yeah. We'll be sure to post the video. We'll be sure to post the links to all the shout outs and the people. Hit up Matthew Morgan, etc., etc.
If you do go to Moore Park College, I really recommend taking a philosophy course to fill your humanities credits with Matthew Morgan.
Philosophy.
But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching, even though it's been a black screen for half of this podcast.
We'll set some pictures. Hopefully we're not blind, so we'll get some pictures.
2 dudes drinking beer, 2 Tuesdays and Thursdays. The time doesn't matter as long as it's up there. And you guys,
Big facts.
I post them at 8:30. The time doesn't matter. The time is more so.
We should basically get it before, as long as it's before 12.
The time is so when Raul's at work.
When Raul's at work,
he can pull
listen.
it up on his phone and be able to listen to it.
That's really what I care about is Raul
on the drive up the hill.
Yeah.
And to start his day with two dudes drinking beer.
Facts.
This is all for you, man.
It's like the Woody Show, but we're probably half as drunk.
Yes.
So
thank you guys for tuning in this week, first week. Hope to see you guys again on Tuesday. Thank you so much. This is Two Dudes Drinking Beer.
Two Dudes Drinking Beer. And until next time. What did we say last time? All right. Well, until next time. I'm pretty sure we just cheers and then drink.
I would just cut it off
after
that
that
first one.
Yeah, we're all out of beer. All right. Bye.